So we're going to be carrying on our class read. So we are reading Do You Know Me? So exactly where we left off. So have a listen, get comfy, because I will be asking you to quiz this. Okay, so understand that I often cover up my anxiety, and although I may appear calm and fine on the outside, this does not mean I'm actually feeling it inside. I have learned to cover my real feelings at school, as I want to fit in and not get into trouble. It's hard to hold your real feelings in and pretend to be something you aren't all day. Home is the only place where I can feel and let my real feelings out. Building a good relationship with me is the best way to help me feel calm and be able to behave and be my best. Show me that you like me by smiling and connecting with me positively when you see me. Like everyone else, I respond really well to feeling liked. Please try not to criticize me or say negative things to me, as that will definitely make me feel like you don't like me. Tone of voice and facial expressions are really important to me, as I read a lot more into them than other people might do. If you have to tell me off, please do it in a calm way, rather than in a cross or harsh voice. Please don't make a sudden loud noise like shouting at me, as this makes me anxious. Sarcasm and criticism makes my anxiety levels go sky high. Using nice language puts me at ease and will help me focus on what you are actually saying rather than how it is making me feel. Please, 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 I beg of you, don't punish me by doing anything that shames me in front of other people, like detentions, making me stand up in front of others, telling me off in public. This is my worst nightmare, and it is my biggest fear in school. It doesn't make me learn to behave better, as I will be so anxious that I'm bound to do more things wrong. Please just speak quietly to me on one-to-one basis. I absolutely promise that I will take in what you are saying in a better way. Ask me to do things calmly and pleasantly, and try not to make a sound like a command, as this instantly escalates my anxiety. E.g., would you mind coming with me up with a good way to make sure you remember your pencil tomorrow? This is a good way of phrasing things for me. Don't ask me lots of direct questions, as these feel like demands and pressures and can be really stressful. Say things like, would you be happy to share your thoughts? I'm wondering whether you. I noticed that. I was just thinking you could. Give me time when asking me questions or when giving me instructions. Don't get impatient with me, or I will sense it and will be flooded with stress, which makes it even harder to think straight. Don't ask me to make eye contact as a way of showing I am listening. It makes it hard for me to listen. If you really want me to be listening carefully to what you are saying, then let me look wherever I need so that I can concentrate. Please don't force me into anything I do not feel ready or comfortable doing. I'm always pushing myself out of my comfort zone, but I can only do it when I feel I'm in control. I will usually give most things a try when I feel ready to. Give me some control by offering choices. This always makes me feel more relaxed and motivated. Most of all, please try to put yourself in my shoes and know that I don't choose it to be this much work. This might be annoying for you, but believe me, it's 10 squillion times harder for me. Chapter 14. For the first time since she arrived at Go Camp, Tally wakes up with a sense of excitement. Sitting up, she gives a sleepy-looking Jade a wave and then looks across at the empty bed on the other side of the room. There's been no sign of Sky since yesterday, but the rumour around camp is that somebody saw her getting into her parents' car. Tally has debated whether she should be feeling sorry for her, but has decided that on reflection, her energy is probably better used elsewhere. It's the high ropes today, she says, as they start to get dressed. I can't wait. Jade laughs quietly. I don't think that Gory is as excited as you are. He told me yesterday that he's going to hide in the sanctuary so that Kirsten can't find him. Tally grins. He'll be fine. We'll look after him. Layla puts on her trainers and stands up. I wish that I was in your group, she complains. Team Basilisk has got a dragon boating today, but it'd be far more fun if it was all with you. At least you aren't in the bottom place on the scoreboard, Lucy tells her. Team Phoenix are not doing well. Kirsten says that we're the worst group that she's ever had. That's ridiculous, Aisha tells her. You're always on the winning team, Lucy. I thought you'd be in the lead for sure. Lucy huffs. I know, right? I'm always the best at sports, which is why it's so frustrating to be on a team with people who aren't sporty. She glances across the cabin to where Tally and Jade are standing. No offence. None taken, says Jade, rolling her eyes at Tally the moment Lucy looks away. But apparently it isn't our lack of skill that's holding us back, Lucy continues. According to Kirsten, we have no team spirit, and we don't work to support each other. I don't know what she's on about, to be honest. Tally sees Layla raise one eyebrow and has to busy herself tying up her laces so Lucy doesn't see her trying not to laugh. Outside the cabin, Gory is already waiting for them, and they go together to the canteen where they grab some breakfast to eat out on the veranda. I'm dreading the high ropes, says Gory, pulling the crust off his toast. I don't mind heights, but I hate the way the rope wobbles about. We'll be right there with you, Jade tells him. Just do what I'm doing, and then pretend you're a jungle cat, roaming the treetops with no fear. Gloria looked dubious. Does that actually work, though? Jade shrugged. I have no idea, but it's got to be better than planned than sitting here getting all worried and scared about it. Has anyone seen Sky? Asked Layla. She wasn't in our cabin last night, but do you really think she's been sent home? Tally shakes her head. I don't know. Let's just be glad that she isn't here. The bell rings, signaling the end of breakfast, and the doors to the canteens fly open, releasing the rest of the kids into the outside air. I suppose I'd better go and find the rest of Team Basilisk, Layla sighs, standing up and walking across the steps. Have fun on the high ropes. We won't, groans Gory. It's going to be a miracle if I survive this in one piece. Layla laughs. I'm pretty sure that we're all going to be attached to a harness and a rope, she tells him. I watched a video of it with my drama teacher, and she told me that there was no risk. She said that we might feel a bit scared, but that's totally not the same as being in actual danger. Gory wrinkles his nose in disbelief, and Tally pats his arm the same way Mrs. Jarman did when she told her how frightening she was about falling off the high ropes. It's another beautiful day. The sun is already high in the sky, and there's a delicious smell of warm soil and salty sea air. As Tally strolls along the path, listening to the other two having an animated discussion about the wonderful world of cats, she suddenly feels a bubble of happiness explode in her head. She stops walking and completely stands still, soaking in everything. It feels so good to be here right now with these people. This is the way life should be. Tally, are you coming? Calls Jade from up ahead. Tally grins and starts walking again, catching up with her and Gory as they reach the turning for the high ropes activity. Oh no, murmurs Gory, his face falling. That's not good. It's all going to be fine, says Tally. There's nothing to worry about. I'm not sure that's entirely true, gulped Jade, and Tally looks in the direction they're both staring in. They were right. It's not good, and there's definitely something to worry about. It is about 4'9" tall and has a lot of very blonde hair that is currently being swished over its shoulder as if it owns the place. I thought she got sent home, whispered Jade. Well, she's near here now, groans Gory. Just when I thought the high ropes couldn't get any worse. Can't we just leave? I've got a really brilliant place to show you, and we could just go there. We can't just walk off. And maybe she'll be a bit nicer now, suggests Tally. You know, now that everyone knows what she did. Gather round, please, calls Kirsten, approaching from the other side of the trees. We'll just give you a safety briefing and then get going. It's all mostly common sense, as long as you listen to what you're told and don't do anything daft. Then everyone is going to have a fantastic morning high up in the treetops. Well, that means Gregory's in trouble then, mutters Skies, managing to find the perfect volume that the adults can never hear, but all the kids do. Mr. Limpkin has been telling us all week that he hasn't got any common sense. Tally glares at her, but Sky has already turned away. So much for hoping that she might have lost some of her bite. Kirsten starts explaining the safety procedures, and Tally listens carefully to the rules. She's not worried about the heights of the activities, but she's feeling pretty nervous about having to balance up there with only a rope to protect her. Kirsten finishes talking, and the other two instructors start to hand out the harnesses. Amit, Lucy, and the two girls from Red Hill High are put together and taken off to a different starting point, leaving Tally, Jade, Gory, and Sky to form another group. Good luck, calls Lucy as she heads off into the trees. We're going to need it, mutters Tally, casting a glance at Sky. You need to put this on, says an instructor, handing Tally a harness. Step it in through the leg holes like you're putting on a pair of shorts. Beside her, Jade and Gory start to get ready. Sky reluctantly accepts her harness too. Just so you know, she murmurs to Tally when the instructor has moved away, I really don't like you. Tally blinks and looks back at her, briefly lost for words, but then she remembers what Mum always says to her, whenever Tally is having a meltdown and yells the same kind of thing at Mum. That's a shame, she tells Sky. I'm very sorry that you feel like that about me. Sky's mouth drops open for a moment and curls into a snarl. You're playing a dangerous game if you think you can mess with me, she hisses. I'm only here because my parents think that their cruise is more important than my happiness. I don't want to be here, and I definitely do not want to see you. Stay out of my way. Gladly, Tally says. We don't want you in our group either. Sky narrows her eyes, but before she can say anything else, Kirsten beckons them across to her so they can all be safely checked. Now, this isn't a timed activity, she tells them when they're all standing at the bottom of the first challenge. The main aim of this morning is to put yourself outside of your comfort zone and work together. You're going to start by climbing the wall, and then, once you're at the top, you'll find the instruction cards telling you what to do next.